This episode is brought to you ad-free thanks to all of our wonderful patrons. You can get tons of exclusive content and help us keep the show going by joining at patreon.com/shonenflop. And welcome to Shonen Flop Chibi, First Impressions mini episode where we talk about the first chapter of the series we'll be covering in depth next week with our guest. Holy shit, David. It's Shen of Shen Comics.
Whoa, the owl turd man himself.
Yeah, the guy whose comics you have absolutely seen, like, everywhere.
Truly, what comics, like, what memes he didn't create?
Yeah, I think he actually wrote all the manga. Anyway, I'm Jordan, and with me today, as usual, is my lovely co-host, David. Say hi, David.
Hi, David. Or sorry, I should say, hi, David.
What?
Just a little hi, David.
Little high, little low. What series we covering this week?
We were talking about Nano Hazard.
Nano Hazard, like my grandma.
Ah, I was about to make that joke. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what you call stairs.
I'm protected.
You know what they say, you're never more than 10 feet away from a grandma at all times.
I don't think that's true. But anyway.
I don't know. I read it in a book, and books can't lie.
Oh, that's true. Never mind. I think you're correct.
But you know what doesn't lie is, Jordan, you telling us a few fun facts about this manga, so lay it on us, man.
All right, so this is Nano Hazard. It was written by Enjou Shuuto. It ran between August 14th, 2018 to February 26th, 2019. David, when did Dr. Stone come out?
I was thinking about that, as I'm sure you saw my comment how this art style reminded me, though Baichu was he's been doing a lot of work for a long time, but let me check. Dr. Stone, I think was at least 2018.
Yeah.
Dr. Stone came out 2017, so this is after Dr. Stone.
Yeah, I figured. This ran for 25 chapters and 3 volumes. And, David, why don't we get into the plot summary?
Sounds good to me.
Listener, if I sound weird, I'm just not feeling well. All right.
And if I sound weird, I am just very tired.
Well, you know. So there's like this kid getting the shit beaten out of him by 2 guys who want money. They've been shaking him down for cash and claim they've been saving him from bullies. Just then, another guy and his definitely not girlfriend, and the guy has Senku's hair and he shows up, calls them the bullies. David, he calls them the bullies, which like, what? And he tells them to leave this wimpy kid alone. They start beating him up instead until the girl pretends to call the cops and they run away. Senku guy goes up to Wimpy Kid and tells him he should have just said no because Senku guy's a fucking idiot and acting like fucking Nancy Reagan. Get out of here with this just say no bullshit. For some reason, Wimpy Kid resents that. Turns out, Wimpy Kid's actually an incel who has like a whole fucking pyramid in his head of who's more respected in school. And of course, he's at the bottom while Senku guy, the bullies, and Senku guy's not girlfriend, David, they're all Chads and Stacy's. But he is merely a virgin. That night, Senku guy reads up on the power of no machines.
The cover art's going to be a Metal Gear Solid 4 reference, isn't it?
Of course, because as we know, they can apparently save lives and cause immortality, like we saw in the documentary Metal Gear Solid 4. But oh no, they could also really fuck you up if there's a mismatch. Senku guy thinks that's fucking stupid and then reflects on how his cop dad got killed on a case and how he wants to be a cop to fight bad guys when his mom bursts in because she thinks he's jacking off. Popcorn David.
Coincidentally, a thief is escaping from a building holding a bunch of nanomachines when he gets hit by an isekai.
David, you said nanomachines wrong.
Nanomachines.
Thank you.
Oh, maybe we should do the nanomachines, son.
Nanomachines, son.
I love how he actually says Make America Great Again, which I know predates Donald Trump, but it's so perfect that he actually said that.
Everything about Metal Gear Rising is perfect.
So, okay, all right, we're going to do probably in Metal Gear Solid 4 or Metal Gear Rising reference for this manga.
Something.
Gets hit by an isekai car, which seems to kill him, but might have sent him into Final Fantasy. Who knows? A taxi drives past, and the driver is like, holy shit, but the passenger doesn't even care. What an asshole.
He doesn't even care. What the fuck?
The people who ran him over get out of the car and ask what the number for 911 is as the nanomachines go into their noses, and some of them have their heads explode, including a dog, which would have made a Rocky proud and reminds me of that famous scene from Scanners.
It really did.
Apparently, Senku guy and the Wimpy Kid also had them go up their noses. Senku guy is able to catch a fly with his bare hands, while Wimpy Kid tells his parents that they should just die, and they almost accidentally kill themselves before he stops them. So now he has the power of the Purple Man. Our other main character clearly is the Karate Kid.
Well, he has Zawardo, David, I think.
Yeah.
He slows down time and can see the fly moving very slowly. Clearly, he has the power of Zawardo, the world.
Man, and Jordan, you are my world, and you also are my first impression. So, what you got for us?
There's clearly some Dr. Stone influence here.
Yeah, the art style really, really feels like someone trying to rip off, what is it, Boichi? I always forget how to say his name. The artist of Dr. Stone, like he has a very recognizable style, and this feels like someone trying to copy it.
The art goes from looking really good to just kind of all right.
Honestly, I know I say this every once in a while, but this legitimately feels like an AI may have drawn this because it just feels like there's no like high level perspective of it. It just feels like the art was generated based on a prompt, and then no one really thought about what the art means in like the context of all of the other panels in the art or even itself. Like some of the composition is super weird.
David, would you say that an AI wrote this or maybe nanomachines?
Nanomachines, son. This just feels very soulless.
Yeah, it's kind of soulless. Like fucking the Senju guy. By the way, listener, I'm gonna use the fact that I'm not feeling well to justify why I didn't get any of their fucking names. I don't care. I do love how Senju guys is just like, I'm reading about nano machines. Oh man, this reminds me of my dead father for some reason.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, reader, about my dead father, who was a cop. And now I'm going to resolve to get the goddamn villains. Interestingly, 2 people threatened to call the police in this manga, and both seem to have failed.
There is some propaganda in this series.
Yeah, I also really love how they were like, shit, what's the number for 9/11? I mean,
Never
shit,
forget.
What's the in England they call it 9/11. Fun fact. Unless they use a different number, and then another place calls them 9/11.
To add to the propaganda, the main character's dream is to become a cop.
To catch all the villains, David.
Yeah, because that's what cops do. Can you imagine calling the police on people like teenagers having a fight in America and how well that would have gone?
Oh, they would have died.
Yeah, someone would have died.
Yeah.
Yeah, as he talks about, there's like no seating for the nanobots. They're just like, oh, nanobots are cool. Like they could have had like a passing scene where they're like, maybe he was like, no, I'm saving up my money for a ticket to the big nanotech conference that's this weekend or something, you know?
Nah, he's literally just reading like an I fucking love science article or something. He's reading like Gizmodo or some shit.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
And this is the first chapter where he had the most time to think about things.
Yeah, this is just kind of a poorly structured first chapter.
You know what's actually a really good sign is that color page is so random.
Yeah.
Like it just comes out of nowhere and they're like, oh, right, I need to have a color page. And he just like chose a random page to just make color. Like, it was so stupid.
Yeah, it is. I do think it's funny how his mom just kind of bursts through the door and is like, are you looking at porn again?
And he's like, not this time, Mom. Wink.
It's like, Mom, that was just the one time. She's like, I typed in something wrong on your computer and it auto-filled to like fucking Pornhub. He's like, Mom, I got hacked. I went there by accident.
That was Zuckerberg.
Yeah, it was the fucking algorithm, Mom.
I also think it's cute to see how like old a manga is by looking at the USD to yen conversion. Because I remember back in the day when 100 yen was about $1 and how it's just kind of fallen off. So now it's like 100 yen is like 80 cents.
Oh, that's sad.
But it's great for when you want to go to Japan.
Yeah, damn, David, fucking inflation.
Also, how did that high schooler stole $3,400 from his parents over a year?
Yeah, holy shit.
How did they never notice?
I don't know. It took them a little while. I guess he just took a little bit at a time. Based on what they said, they were like, we noticed money was missing. They just had $3,400 in their wallet, never replaced the money, never looked again. And he's just kind of taken all that money away. And they're like, shit, $3,400 is missing from my wallet. What the fuck? Yeah.
I just thought that was insane how much money he stole from them.
I also like how they immediately jump to, are you being bullied? Which, like, yes, that's correct. But, like,
yes,
maybe that's common in Japan? I have no idea. Also, man, another teenager is just like, you should just die. I guess that's a common thing to say.
Right?
Shinderu. Oh, God.
Man. And then, Jordan, would you read another 10 chapters of this?
Nah.
No. We can tell this is not going to be a spicy meatball.
Nah and no. This is quite the hazard.
But not quite a butthole.
Sure.
God, that was the most blatant this manga is not going to be good we had read in a long time.
Yeah, Ichigaki.
Out of control.
Yeah, excuse me. It's actually in control. It's just, it is an out of control manga.
Just like our nano machines, son.
Oh, yeah.
All right, but Jordan, what are your guesses?
I think that the wimpy kid is gonna immediately attempt kill the bullies. I think everybody will be infected by the nanomachines, and most of them will have their heads explode, kind of like how everyone in Dr. Stone got turned into stone. And I think the taxi guy killed Senju guy's dad. What about you, David? What do you think's gonna happen?
I think that Tsunomura's big goal will be to make some new nation. That's like the Wimpy Kid.
Oh, okay.
And he's going to try and create some like new social order. So it's going to be the exact same plot as whatchamacallit. What was that manga we read that was started good and fell off with the guy who looks in your soul? Takeki Ryusei, right?
Takeki Ryusei, yeah.
So it's like an evil Takeki Ryusei. Miyama, that's the girl. She's going to gain some useless nano power and will just be the token female character without any purpose. And then Enjou, the main character. Enjou's dad will have been a part of the people who made the nanobots, and it's bonus points if he's alive. I just tried to make a guess for all three of the main characters.
I got you. No, that makes sense.
I had a guess I took off just because I thought it was dumb, but I feel like we're going to compare this series to Akira because Tsunomura, it kind of feels like he's going in that direction.
I think he's going to be Kaneda or Tetsuo.
Yeah. So that's what I'm kind of thinking where he's just going to go crazy with his psychic powers to control people.
Yeah.
So before you pointed out that Metal Gear Solid would be a much better, that was what I thought was maybe we'd make it an Akira parody, but I know totally we need to do Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, Nanomachine, son. Nanomachine, son.
We gotta do that. Yeah, because the main character even has one glowing eye.
Yeah.
All right, but Jordan, what was your power word?
Small, because it's just a little nano machine.
Little uwu bean.
Little tiny little machine.
I love it. And then mine is artificial. Like, it's about nanomachines, but also like nothing. Again, it's just, there's no soul in this. It really feels like some sort of like a bot made this series.
Yeah.
But Jordan, that is all the time we have to talk about this series. So let's shift into the Q&A, where thank you everyone who submits their questions in the Shonen Flop Discord. As a reminder, you get priority for being new to asking us questions, being a patron, or if we haven't answered one of your questions in a long time. And on that note, let's talk about friend of the show, Hassan, who asks, you commit a manga crime and have been summoned to Flop Court. Who out of the Flop protagonists do you pick to defend you? And who's the protagonist you'd least like to have as the prosecution?
How about you, David?
Did you just say the word ah?
I said,
Well, I think obviously the best lawyer would actually be the guy from Keki Ryusei, because his argument wouldn't really need to make sense. He would just look the judge in the eye, and the judge would say, this is a man. This is a manly man. We can't send him to jail. So I would definitely have him protecting us.
Okay, that's fair.
Who do you think would be the worst prosecutor, or the worst person to protect us?
Well, this is actually the worst prosecutor, David.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So, Jordan, who would be the worst prosecutor you would hate to see our main man face in court?
So I guess the best prosecutor that you'd be afraid to see face our main guy, I think it would be Aioi from fucking ITLC. Because she's crazy. You can't see where she's going, and she's got to do some crazy shit to dig up shit on you. And, like, I don't know how you deal with some of the shit she would find.
You know what? That's fair. All right, that was a great question. Next from Riley. If Chainsaw Man was a flop, how would it have ended? So, Jordan, let's see.
It is extremely difficult to even conceive of that, but yes, let's try and figure it out.
Yeah, let's say it ended around Tana Man, okay? So right before Rize.
Okay, let's see. I think that Makima would suddenly kind of like play her hand. There would be a time skip, and Denji was like, man, I'm so glad I got to touch Makima's boobs. And wow, Pochita's back. But we're still working hard to stop the bad guy.
Yeah.
Who, actually, I take it back. I don't think he would have gotten to Makima turning on them. No, you know what? Yeah. Well, I don't think he would have gotten to Makima turning on him, so the villain, I guess, would be the Gun Devil.
What I'm thinking is, what if he goes in the office after defeating Katana Man, and then Makima is just like at her desk, and then just gets riddled with bullet holes, and what's his name comes in, and he's like, he like hands him the note, it's like, Makima is the control devil, and then it just spirals out of control like that.
Okay.
And then they just completely forget about the Gun Devil.
Yeah.
Or he's just like the Gun Devil. We already stopped the Gun Devil, Makima, and then it just shotguns like the entire last like 20 chapters of Chainsaw Man in 3 chapters. So like Power doesn't die. You know, maybe it just ends with like Makima like in jail, and he's like with Power, and he's like, you know what? Let's go get ice cream. And that's just how it ends.
That'd be all right if it was like, let's just go get ice cream or something.
Yeah.
Alternatively, it would turn into some meta thing where Fujimoto's like, fuck, god damn it, shit, why'd I have to get canceled? Fuck.
Yep. It turns out it was all a movie playing in the Fire Punch universe.
Or a movie playing in the Goodbye Eri universe, which I guess would not have been published if Chainsaw Man was a flop.
I really wonder what Fujimoto would have done if Chainsaw Man had gotten canceled, I guess.
Man, yeah, he would have probably put out a new manga starring Beam.
God, I love
Beam is so good.
Oh, yeah. That's what Shark Kick is about. It's all about Beam.
Oh, that would be cool.
And then from Spubby, what canceled series would you like to see fully translated so it could be in a Shonen Flop episode?
My immediate response is that manga series that I think it was Bronson, Fist of the North Star made, where it was like motocross.
Oh, that sounds really ridiculous.
Yeah, it was either Bronson or Miura. I'm sorry. I don't know why I can't remember. It was one of those two.
You're a little under the weather. It's okay, my friend.
I'm a little under the weather. I'm going to use that as an excuse for everything.
I would have really liked to see Alice and Taro translated because the manga that's very explicitly about music, so that'd be a fun series to have a musician guest on.
Oh.
But they've only had 3 chapters translated.
Hmm.
If you're listening, Gomez Scans, the unofficial translation group that spun off from Shonen Flop. Big shout out to Taperclip.
Hey, Taperclip, what's up?
Oh, man. All right, next up from Spook, aka Sir Skellington. What multiplayer video games do the Shonen staff play?
I don't because I have no friends.
Yeah, I actually don't play a lot. I used to play a lot of Team Fortress 2 and then Overwatch, and now the only heavily multiplayer game I play is Magic the Gathering, which I play in person, though.
Yeah, the only video game I play anymore is Slay the Spire, and that is not multiplayer.
Isn't there a co-op mod?
There is, but I don't use it.
No.
I used to play a lot of Smash Brothers.
Oh, Smash is great, yeah.
Yeah, but not in a while.
All right, and then our final question from the wonderful T. Wolfwood. How do you avoid burnout of reading manga for Shonen Flop?
I don't.
Yeah, I don't. I hate my life at all times.
I struggle a lot. There are times where I'm like, man, maybe manga's all just bad.
But then a new chapter of Chainsaw Man comes out.
New chapter of Chainsaw Man, or I tried reading Akane Banashi, and I was like, wow, this is like way better.
Right?
Oh yeah, I can get pulled into a manga. I totally forgot that was a thing that can happen to me.
Like when we read Sandland and we were like, oh fuck, I forgot what it's like to read something really, really good.
I forgot that good manga existed. So I guess that's what we do to avoid burnout.
Yes, is reading good manga.
Yeah.
But that's all the time we have for questions today. I want to say, Jordan, thank you so much for all your hard work on the show, and I hope you feel better.
Thank you, David. Thank you so much for your hard work on the show. You do a lot.
I was going to say, props to Shannon for the awesome cover art. Find her online at illuminyatea. Thanks to Dylan for assistance with editing. Find his podcast, Anime Context, at animecontext.com. Thanks to Tucker and Maxie B for assistance with pronunciation, translation, other miscellaneous research. Find us on Twitter, aka X, at ShonenFlopcast. Our website, shonenflop.com. We're also on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, wherever else you get our podcast. And come join the Shonen Flop Discord.
That's going to be true as long as X is still fucking around. God damn.
And it's going to get you.
Hey.
And join the Shonen Flop Discord. Open to everyone, patron or not.
You mean give it to you, David.
It's true. Come hang out with us and talk about anime, games, or whatever else is on your mind. Also have a monthly movie night. Find a link to it in the show notes or on our site. If you've been enjoying the podcast and want to help us keep going, consider subscribing to our Patreon. Wouldn't be able to keep the show going without all of their support. You get a ton of awesome perks, including bonus episodes. Jordan, what are we dropping this month?
Oh, we're going to cover Sandland, David.
Speaking of.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. And you could even be listening to our recording right now or hearing the warm body or deleted scenes. Find it at patreon.com/shonenflop. And on that note, I'm going to read off some of our wonderful patrons. I want to start by thanking our dolphin dads. Much like Ginger Daddy, I come in 2 skin tones, pasty white and red. And please donate to help the victims of the Maui wildfires. Red Cross Maui Strong Fund. Moving on down to the Ravioli tier, where you get weekly pictures of my adorable puppy Ravioli. Chris, Eva, Josh Robinson, Karate Chopsticks, Rachel, my wonderful fiance. I had a great time playing that board game she gifted me, and she also got me cake.
What'd she get you?
She got me a game called The Night Cage, which is like a horror co-op game. That's really fun. Scarl Myrmidon and Trevor Schechner. Moving on down to the King of the Forest, we have 090Z, Bandit Stoof.
Bandit Stoof, this is my girlfriend.
Shell Farine, Gabe Lando, Jacob Andrew Galloway, King Salamander, Kirby Mont, Marty, Max Baker, Not Jeff, T, The Wolf, The Woods, Trafalgar, and Tommy Boy. And moving on down to the Galactic Ball Federation officers, we have Midsize Sedan, Andy's Islands, Blamumu, Brian Sexton, David Ackerson, Dennis James Moan, Drago, Trua, Dylan Crider, Nigel, Generic Man, Green, Hans, Heavy Metal Hermit Crab, Keanu, Kylie, Lincoln Frey, Manly P. Hall, Marabara, my dad, Matt, Mike, Ralph, Resident Warhammer Nerd, Rosenda Mendoza, Ryan Chazinski, Sarah Hydra, Scott, Silly Rookie, Simba for Senpai Ash, Staghorn, Storm Gary, Tapier Clip, our very own Tucker, Wright, and ZZ Digital, and a big thank you to all of our Beast Children patrons as well.
Yes. And check out Mission Ignition.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then thank you so much for listening. Tune in next Monday for our full thoughts on Nano Hazard, featuring the legendary Shen of Shen Comics. So excited to have him on.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe how easy it was to schedule him. He was like, okay, yeah, that sounds fun. I'll come on the show.
He was like, oh, shit, you got a weekly Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, that was
podcast.
true. He was like, you fuck with Chainsaw Man, I fuck with you.
Which you got to respect.
Yep.
You know, I fucking love that. Anyway, till then, this has been Jordan.
This has been David.
And you've been listening to Shonen Flop. David, say it.
Keep on flopping floppers.
Bye.